Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Speed Build Monday, everybody's favorite day of the week despite the fact that it is Monday and we are finally here. The day has come where I have finally built Olivia's house. Oh boy. So if you do not know who Olivia is, she is the heir to the legacy in the Hunter Legacy, which I put out on Wednesdays. So I needed her to have a house and a big enough house to fit on the biggest lot. Which I think the biggest lot in Newcrest is only 50 by 50, if I'm correct. It's not 64 by 64. So I wasn't that challenged, but it was still a very challenging house because I wanted it to be a modern home. And in fact, this isn't even what I had in mind at first. I wanted like that very sleek, modern with lots of glass, white trim, sort of very modern, like over modern. But I went for something a little bit more contemporary than that because I found this image online that had both the pictures of the house, which were beautiful, and the floor plan. So I was like, win-win. It gives me everything I need. So I did it that way instead. Also, this house is not fully furnished for a multitude of reasons. Well, really one in particular. It's too expensive to furnish all the way because Olivia doesn't have, she has a lot of money because her mom made a lot of money, but she doesn't have endless amounts of money. So she needs to work a little bit harder as her doctor self, because she's a doctor, in order to furnish the rest of the room. So it's got like the master bedroom, the bathrooms. I think I did all of them. I'm not 100% sure anymore. Kitchen, backyard, pool, all that fun stuff, even like a butler's headquarters. The only rooms that are missing is the upstairs, which is sort of like a fun area. Man, when we get to that, I will try and explain what is going on because I spent a good, I think real time, like half an hour on the upstairs just trying to do something that it didn't work, and it didn't get furnished anyway. And then the 2 bedrooms downstairs, which one is like, it's the kids' rooms. They didn't get furnished because she doesn't have any kids right now. She just aged up into a young adult. So there was no need to furnish those. And man, is this house expensive without those rooms. It comes to like 170,000 simoleons, which isn't a whole lot in compared to like other houses that I've built and other houses on the gallery. But when you're playing with a family, it can be very hard to make that kind of money. So she has, I think, about 160 something. So she might not get into this house right away, but she's living in a perfectly fine, livable house on this lot. This is not obviously the save for that game because I did delete their house, which I have done before. I have deleted it, particularly the hunter's house, and I thought they had enough money for another house, and they were homeless for like a split second. Not my fault. I miscalculated. This is why I'm not a math major. Okay, I can't do math. Anyway, yeah, so that is that's the story, and I'm sticking to it. So I like the way that it turned out. I thought it wasn't what I was originally going for, but I thought it was just as good as what I had originally planned. The only thing I wished had worked out was the upstairs area. So you're not seeing it right now, but when you do, it is a mess. So the original floor plan for this house, which is built in real life, and I found it online, has the upstairs area as like a little section of the house, but most of it is seeing below, so it's kind of like a loft area. I could not, for the life of me, get that to work in this stupid freaking game. Every time I went, because normally how I do it is like I have a room upstairs and I like section it off into rooms and then I delete the flooring and put in like glass fencing. That did not work this time. It just kept like making it so it wasn't technically a room, and then the roofs would poke through and it would look bad, and I was upset and I got frustrated, so I said screw it, I'm not doing it. So it was a real struggle of a time. But I think even without the loft area, I really wanted that loft area. Even without it, I think it looks fine. It's going to be like a kids hangout area because the living room isn't really, like, it's more of a formal living room, and I wanted the kids to have an area to like do homework, even though their rooms are going to be big enough. Like, they're huge rooms, but like a place to do homework or maybe a movie theater area up there. Also, that'll be like, there'll be a way to get outside to the like patio out there, which is where Olivia will do like yoga, and there might be some like barbecuing stuff up there, some seating areas. So yeah, so it was not as hard as I thought it was gonna be. I kept not doing it because I was like, this is gonna take me forever. I think real time it took me about 3 hours to do. So I mean, it wasn't fully furnished. It's not fully furnished, so technically it would have taken me probably another hour or so to furnish it. Especially kids' rooms, I find take most of my time because I'm trying to get those little details in there to bring out the kids' personality. But other than that, I think it turned out nice, modern. Not as modern as I was going for, but a good start. It is a lot easier to build a house if you have like an image in mind, and I couldn't find the image online that I had in my head, so it would have made like I never would have been able to build it. So I found something that was close and something that I really liked, so I was like, I'll go with that. Also, big fan of the kitchen in this. It's a huge kitchen. It's got a nice island, it's got nice cupboards, it's got 2 fridges. It's nice. So A++ on the kitchen because I really do enjoy it. Also really like the pool area, which you're seeing me build now, because I end up raising the house onto a foundation in order to get the pool to be on a foundation as well, because I thought it would be cool if I could have like fountain things coming through. You'll see it. It's fun. Anyway, guys, how is your Monday, your bright Monday? Currently for me, it's actually Saturday. No, it's Friday. Oh my God. It's not Saturday. It's Friday. It's Friday night, and when you're seeing this on Monday, I will be getting my winter tires on for my car because it is starting to get mighty chilly here in good old Canada. Not the Canada that usually gets chilly, but apparently, okay, if you were here last year, you would have heard me complain like so much about the snow. And being from Canada, you're like, why are you complaining about the snow? Well, I live just outside of Vancouver, and if anybody knows anything about Vancouver or the Lower Mainland, it is rainy. It's not meant to snow. So when we got our first big snowfall, it was all exciting, and it was like, yay, snow. And then our city was so underprepared. We ran out of salt like immediately. We were on a salt shortage. The plows couldn't do any of the side streets, so all of the side streets all around everywhere were horrendous. And then it never rained, and it never got warm enough where the snow would melt, so then it just became ice, and to the point where people, yes, this is true, were actually ice skating down their street. On the west side of Vancouver, there were people putting on their ice skates and skating down the street, and snow tires do nothing in ice. Like, you have to have chains on at that point, or like actual ice tires that have little hooks in them to sort of get a grip on the ice. And where I work is this very small alleyway that was never going to get plowed. The city was never going to come through and do that. So it was always a scary struggle for me to try and park my car because we're on a hill. So it was terrifying. And the ice lasted a couple months of just pure ice, to the point where my dog, every time I took my dog out, he would cut his foot because the ice was that sharp. Nobody did their sidewalks, or a lot of people didn't. And now they finally said this year, we're like seriously fining people. Like, you can complain about your neighbor and we will come and issue them a ticket like immediately, because they didn't think it was going to last, because it's never been that bad. We have had like snowfalls, and then it usually like snows and then rains. And we don't really get a sense of winter pretty much. It gets cold, but not like super cold. Like, it was in the minuses, minus Celsius, which never happens to us. So it was brutal. And there's reports, I'm hoping they're lying, but reports that it's supposed to be worse this year. I think I'm gonna move to Hawaii now. Because I am not used to this. And it would be totally fine if, one, it wasn't ice, because, like, it really sucks when it's ice. And two, if people would shovel their driveway, if the city would get their stuff together and plow the side streets, especially the main side streets, like the ones that are pretty heavily used, and to have access to salt, because we had none. It was a struggle. And I remember I shoveled so much last year. And, which is not a huge deal. Like, it was, honestly, I would love to have, we were completely snowed in during New Year's, which was honestly the best. It was so nice to see, like, it was quiet, and which is weird because it was New Year's Eve, but it was quiet and that peaceful feeling when it snows, and like no one was out, so that was pretty nice. But then it just got tiresome, and it went into like February of like just ice, and I got real annoyed real fast. So hopefully that doesn't happen this time around. We will see. They are saying, but I mean, the weather people, what do they really know? Because they don't. They never know. They're like, oh, it's going to snow, and then it's like 20 degrees and sunny. Seriously, though, it especially Vancouver is super unpredictable for our weather. I'm hoping it just rains. It can snow on Christmas Day. That would be fun. Or Christmas Eve, even a few days before, because that would be totally fine. But we'll see what happens with that. I'll keep you posted because I'll complain all the time, so you'll never miss a beat. So anyway, a lot has happened in the past week. I'm recording this on Friday, so this past week has just been like, it's Friday the 13th today, but I feel like all my bad luck has come prior to today. Nothing bad happened today, knock on wood. I don't even think this is real wood. But it started off with my dog, who, happens to him all the time, but he has, I don't know, he has really bad nails, but his nails like to split. And so we were playing at the park, and I came back and like was bleeding profusely. That might be an over-exaggeration. He was bleeding. And I noticed that he had split his nail underneath. So I got him home and like panicked and like tried to cut off that piece, because I have had him split the nail, and I've taken him to the vet before, and all they do is cut the piece off and say, soak it in Epsom salts. So I was like, I can do this. I'm a vet. No, I'm just kidding. But, so I, cut the little piece off, took me forever, and then have been soaking it in Epsom salts, but it's starting to bother him, or it started to bother him. He's getting better now. But, so he's been limping, and I keep calling him Gimpy McGee, or Gimps, because he's just like, yesterday I tried to take him for a walk, and he like was limping the entire time, and it was sad, and I was very sad, but he's doing okay. I took him today, and he was totally fine. But I was like, oh, Gimps, you Gimpy, and then I shouldn't have said that, because I was cutting some lettuce with a bread knife, which, dumb, I know, don't even. Here's the part of the video where I don't know what I'm doing, so enjoy that. It's the upstairs part that I was explaining. Anyway, I was cutting some lettuce with a bread knife, which you're supposed to use a plastic knife for lettuce, but I don't have one, so I was like, I'll just use this bread knife. I've used it a million times before, and I have super duper sharp knives, very expensive sharp knives. So my mom took me shopping for knives. It's like, no, you can't just buy the cheap stuff, you have to get the fancy stuff. I'm like, Mom, I cut lettuce, okay? Like, I don't need expensive knives. But anyway, so I have really nice knives, and they're sharp, very sharp, and they stay sharp because, like I say, I don't cut anything. I don't eat meat, so like, what am I gonna cut? Vegetables? Good. So I was chopping lettuce, and I guess, I don't know, I wasn't really paying attention. I was kind of like daydreaming, I guess, like going over things I had to do and things like that, and I barely grazed my index finger, and was like, oh my god, thank god I didn't cut my finger, what an idiot. And then I took the next like swipe to cut the lettuce, and right through my thumb. It's not too bad. I cut my nail, so that's the part that probably hurts the most, is the fact that the nail's like not attached to my thumb anymore. And I cut it about a quarter of the way through my thumb, so it's healing now. It's makes me feel really dumb though. But I feel bad because I kept calling Harley Gimpy, and I'm like, well, now I'm Gimpy too. Also, the amount of things you need your left thumb for is astonishing. I did not realize that left thumbs come in handy a lot more than I thought they did. So, washing your hair is very difficult to do with one hand, and like, I didn't want to get it wet because it was all bandage and stuff. So washing my hair was a challenge. Doing the dishes was a challenge. Like, I had to hold them on a weird angle and like wash them and then rinse them. And then as I was rinsing the dishes, I put a glass in the drain board, and that glass fell through the drain board and smashed on the ground, and I had to clean all that up. So that was fun. And yeah, there's a lot of things you need your left thumb for. Work was a little bit difficult because I work with like paper and files, and I was like trying to peel a staple out of a thick wad of paper, and like my thumb was getting it's a challenge if you don't have a thumb. I suppose it'd be a little bit better if it was like all the way off, because then at least you could like stick it in water, and like I was trying to avoid getting it dirty and wet, so I was like trying to like stick it up like I was drinking tea or something, and that's supposed to be your pinky, but so it's been fun. It'll probably take a while for the nail to grow. I'm not gonna cut it off. I'm just gonna let it grow and see what happens. But when you cover your finger so much with like a bunch of polysporin and stuff, it makes it feel like a shriveled up raisin. So I've got a little raisin thumb. So now I'm just letting the air get to it and making sure that it doesn't get infected or anything. I don't think they could have stitched it even if I went to the doctor, because it's mostly the nail. So like, how do you don't really stitch that, like the nail's stopping anything from getting in there. And I've been like cleaning it with like wipes, those like Clorox wipes. So Clorox or chloride? I think it's chloride, right? Clorox doesn't sound right. So I've been cleaning it with that, making sure that it stays clean, and obviously keeping it wrapped, and now I'm just airing it out. So that's been my week. Hopefully next week is better. I'm wanting to, my next build, I'm hoping to do like a Halloween house, because Halloween is obviously coming up. I gotta get watching my Halloween movies. I haven't watched any, and it's October 13th already. And when you're watching this, I probably still wouldn't have, because I just don't. I like Halloween Town, but I don't watch a lot of TV, and I find that it's not on TV as much. Like, it used to be on all the time. Maybe it's on tonight. I'll check that after this. So I'm hoping I might do like a vampire house in Forgotten Hollows, because is that what it's called? I've played there. I've never played there. The only time I've ever gone into there was to do the review for this channel. So I've never played with vampires. Maybe I want to do like a mini series of vampires, but I feel like I get bored because I don't like, I just don't care. It's not my cup of tea. I'm more patiently waiting for the pets, the cats and dogs, to come out so I can create my dog in the sim world. Maybe without a gimp. I'm teasing. Oh, he's all snuggled up. He's so cute. I love him. He's kind of cute when he's gimpy too. It just makes me feel sad. So yeah, so maybe next week we'll see, or I might, let me see, the 31st is a Tuesday, so maybe Monday the 30th I'll release the Halloween house, because that seems like a good day to do it. So I'll get working on that for a little bit, because that'll take me a bit, because it's not something I'm used to, and I gotta make sure I know where all the decor for that is, because I have the spooky stuff pack, but I've never really used it. So I'll have to figure out where to find it all in The Sims, which could be a challenge. So yeah, so here is the downstairs sort of more formal living room. It's still got some kid stuff in there, because I wanted, I don't want to just shove the kids all upstairs, especially because their bedrooms are downstairs, so that really would really make sense. And then there is that room off to the side, which was going to be an office, but because I have a desk there, it seems a little silly to have an office like right next door. So I made it into a little butler quarters, so you can, have your butler stay in a fancy room. It's a nice room. It's got its own ensuite. What more could a butler want? So I assume she'll get a butler. I'm wanting her to be like this very workaholic is the word I'm looking for, doctor. So she's gonna need someone to help with the kids, and when she has kids, so when she gets married, this is all in the future. She's like barely a young adult. She still lives with her sister, because her parents died, spoiler alert, and her twin brother, who will be moving out next part, or maybe not, because that's gonna be the wedding. Right, I need to get Blake and Marin married, and then they're moving out into their new apartment. And then Zach is moving out, and then Olivia's getting this house, and then it should all be fun. So yeah. So that is what is happening in the Hunters. I am trying to do 26 generations, and I'm on generation 2, and it's like part 36, 37. No, it's got to be bigger than that. 40? Are we in the 40s? I don't even know. But so we'll see. I think it's going to go faster now that I got the ball rolling. And I know Olivia's not going to have very many kids because she's busy. She maybe have 2, which is fine because there's 2 kids' bedrooms in this house. So it's like the perfect house for her to have only 2 kids. Her mom had 4. She had Blake, and then she had Zach, and then she was going to stop at Kyle, not Zach, Kyle. She's going to stop at Kyle. And then she's like, Kyle was, no offense to Kyle, but he's not the prettiest sim. So I decided executively decided that I was going to try for a different one, and that's when we got the twins. Zach and Olivia. Anyway, guys, we are finishing up here, but I'm going to talk to you throughout the fly through, so we're gonna go through that now. Enjoy. Okay, guys, so we're gonna do a fly through, a little old school here, because I thought, let's get those fountains working, because I thought it would be a lot easier to do it this way and explain sort of where I'm going with some of the rooms rather than have a cool fly through of a bunch of empty rooms. That seems a little odd. Also, don't mind the bees and don't mind these random sims over here. Okay, so the outside looks like this. It's very modern with a lot of I saw someone build and put these guys out there, but there's nothing to catch the water, so I feel like it'd be very wet, but it's not. So I don't know how that's going to work out. Anyway. Oh, this is not painted. Bad me. Okay, I'll paint that. So big front door, obviously. This thing is huge. Massive. Nice entryway with, you're going to find a lot of side tables and these paintings. I apologize. I just really like them. So a fountain with some fountains in the back. And then over here is sort of like a mini office area. And then the more formal living room area. Isn't that the cutest? It's like a little school bus. It's adorbs. It's adorable. In here is the butler's headquarters or quarters or whatever you want to call it. It's just a room with a bed and some furnishing. And then in here is just his or her bathroom. So fun stuff. This is where one of the kids' bedrooms is going to go. I want to say that it's going to be. No, this is going to be like a bedroom. This is probably going to be the nursery because it's a little bit darker and I feel like that would help a baby sleep. And then this is the big kitchen. It's not ginormous, but it's a good size, I think. Big dining room table, which flows nicely into sort of a sitting area. And then the doors outside, which I will show you in a minute. And here is the master bedroom. So as you see, very white walls. I probably will add some paintings up there at some point and make it a little bit more colorful in here. But just your basic master bedroom, and then a beautiful big master ensuite with a nice soaker tub, which I would love to be in right now. And then if you go upstairs, it's not furnished currently, obviously, but this will become, I love these floors, they're so shiny. It will become like the kids' hangout area as soon as I put railings to stop the kids from dying. And then out here will be sort of a sitting area with yoga mat and things like that. And then down here is the backyard. I made stairs coming down here because I thought it would be nice to be able to go from up top to the pool. Just a pretty basic backyard with a lot of kid things because, she's got money, so why not? And then the pool with some cool little fountain details in here. And yeah, that's pretty much the entire house. It's not full of rooms. It's just got a lot of room. So yeah, I will, once I finish furnishing it, throughout the Let's Play, I'll eventually upload it to Gallery. Yeah, and if you want it uploaded now, you can just let me know in the comments below, and I will be sure to do that, and you can fill in the rest of the space how you would like. But anyway, guys, if you like this video, make sure to leave a like, and if you want to stay updated on all this nonsense, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all in my next video, so have a great day, guys. Bye!